I am creating a real game in Unreal Engine. Is Unreal Engine good for making 2D games? No. No, it is not. But first we'll need something to test on. Even though it looks 2D, we'll actually be playing in a 3D environment, which will project with a 2D camera. So everything looks like 2D even though it's 3D. It is a bit of a detour, but we can simply import 2D PNG files and we can assign them to the player. So the player is actually 2D, even though it's a 3D character that is playing in a 3D environment with a 3D camera. And then we end with something like this. A whole lot of squares, squares, squares and more squares. Looks still very bad. Now you may be wondering, why is all the art so bad? I mean, there's diva art. Well, it's mostly because of copyright. I can't just download something online and use it because it's copyrighted and I don't like copyright claims. So we have the art department. The art department makes art which isn't copyrighted, so I can just use it. And then they make bad art again, yeah. Although it does remind me of something. For now it just looks very bad. You will have to live with this, just a whole lot of squares which can jump around. But before the art department gives me anything to work with, I'll have to do it myself. Just a small disclaimer, this will not be used in the final game. This is purely so you guys don't have to look at squares. But it looks bad, I know. I'm not an artist, I do the code, others do the music and the art. But starting with a simple chest, we can use this to code the chest and it looks better and we can actually see what we're doing. We need a chest that is closed and opened so we can see the difference and then we can implement it in the game. Now as we have our chest sprite, we can add it to our actor. The actor will hold all the code. And then we can add the actor to the scene, so we can interact with it once we have added the code to the actor. Just a nice and easy placeholder, and I repeat, placeholder. This will not be used for the final product, it's purely so we can easily test. And upon testing, we can now see the chest. We can do absolutely nothing with it, it's just a chest. We still have to add the code. So that's what we'll do in a second, but first we need to actually check if we're touching a chest. Because in the end, the player is gonna be walking up to a chest and interacting with it. So we'll go into the player and check for all overlapping chests, and we'll go through all of them if there are more than one. Because if it's only one, we'll just say, this is the chest you're touching, this is the chest you should be opening. Otherwise, if it's 0, no chest, you're not touching a chest, so you have to open a chest. But still, if it's more than 1, we'll have to get the nearest chest. So going through all of the chests we're touching, we'll check which one is closest to the player. Because the closest to the player is the one we want to open, and then the one close to the player after we have opened the previous closest one. So we get the distance to every chest, check if it's less than the current highest, lowest chest distance, and if that's true, then that's the new chest overlapping with. Now you may be thinking, alright, fun game, chests, ugly players, ugly art, what is the lore? Well, the lore is all in the Book of Lore, which I will not reveal. If you want to know lore, you have to play the game. If you want to play the game, you will have to wait maybe 20 years for it to release, if it ever releases. which I hope it will. But enough depressing talk. I'm working on a fun game, and if you want to know when it releases and want to stay updated with the developments, you can like, subscribe and join the Discord. But with just a bit of code, we have a working chest, although it doesn't trigger our special ability. Yes, we have special abilities, this game is already great. Alright, there are special abilities, chests. What's the plan, the ID, the progress? There is already stuff. Well, we're not done yet, obviously, it looks bad. The art department still hasn't given me any art. The music department hasn't given me any music. So, we'll just have to keep going. But I'll draw a bit of progress bars to see where we're at. Are we perhaps at 80%? No, I don't think so. 10%? Definitely not. 1% seems closer. Now that we have a chest that slightly works, at least we can check for overlap. And if we know that the player is touching a chest, we can then interact with it. So next video we can work on the special abilities. So make sure to watch the next video and join the Discord if you haven't already. I'll leave the link in the description. Now I just got to end the video, but how? Thanks for watching, now go hydrate or something.